This podcast is for entertainment and commentary purposes only. The views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not reflect any organizations or affiliates. This show may contain adult language and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised. Portions of media may be used under fair use for commentary and criticism. Nothing discussed on this podcast should be taken as professional, legal, or financial advice.
It's JM and Digz, two kids that never quit. From the ring to the booth, yeah, they still talk their shit. Thursdays on your feed, they're the ones you don't skip. If you came for the vibes, you came for JM and Digz.
Welcome to another episode of the JM and Digz podcast. I am JM.
I am Digz. What's up, homies?
What is good? Got a nice show laid out for you guys today. Pretty good. This episode came together very nicely, so I'm looking forward to getting into it. And we're gonna start with some local stuff because I don't know what's happening to Rhode Island, but it's just absurdity out here right now. Absolutely absurdity. We start with what happened earlier this week on Federal Hill. If anyone follows me on Instagram, I was posting footage of this the day after it went down, of a guy climbing out of his girlfriend's car, gets on the hood, and then he literally, the cop car pulls right up to him, nose to nose. I think Sanchez got the video queued up. This guy's absolutely nuts. Have you seen this yet, Digz?
No, I haven't.
So there he is right now. He's climbing out of his girlfriend. His girlfriend drives a nice Mercedes Benz, and this is the last thing you would want to do to a Mercedes Benz, and that's climb on the hood of a Mercedes Benz. So there's the cop car. Unmarked cop car pulls right up, and this dude's now standing on the hood of his girlfriend's fucking Mercedes Benz. And then here we go. This dude literally jumps on the hood of the cop car. I have no idea what was going through this dude's mind. He must have been on some drugs or heavily intoxicated. And then, he's doing push-ups in the middle of the road, not letting traffic go through, just causing an absolute scene. He's getting on.
Who the hell are his shoes?
Yeah, and that's the other thing, dude. He had no shoes on, no shirt on, but yeah, this doesn't have the footage of him when he gets arrested. It's funny because the cop walks up to him. So that cop that he jumped on the car, they waited for backup before they arrested him. So then when backup came, they go up to him, and he turns around as the cop's walking up to him, and he puts his hand out. He's going to shake his hand like, "Hi, how you doing?" And then the cop's like, "Turn around right now. Put your hands behind your back." Wild. Me and Sanchez were trying to look up names to see who this person was. We could not find who this guy is. Someone in Rhode Island's got to know him.
It's only street journalists who are covering this right now.
Right. It's like, it's like the local like Instagrammers that try to like do stories on there for views. But yeah, it's wild. What's going on, Andrew? What's going on, Bullets? What's going on, Tosh? Welcome to the podcast. But yeah, that was a wild story. And yeah, Federal Hill's been wild this summer. Definitely wild this summer. Because there was a footage not that long ago. I don't know if you've seen this, Digz. There was a guy on a motorcycle. He was like revving his motorcycle, trying to do tricks and stuff. And then out of nowhere, some guy threw a trash bin right at the dude, making him go off the road into a bunch of fucking people.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, dude, Federal Hill's just been absolutely chaos. So yeah, Tosh,
though has always been a shit show.
Yeah, it's a shit show. Definitely is. Tosh says shit like that happens on a regular basis out here. Yeah, well, we don't see it that often. We're chilling, Andrew. We're chilling. Appreciate you joining the chat today. But yeah, so that was a little funny, but we're gonna go to something a little bit more dark. And this, I got this news right before we went live. We added this story last second to the show. So yeah, suspect arrested in deadly stabbing on Providence Pedestrian Bridge. Providence man identified after fatal stabbing on the downtown bridge. A man was arrested Thursday in connection with a deadly stabbing on a pedestrian bridge in Providence earlier this week, according to police. Joseph LaRoque, 19, is accused of stabbing a man to death on the Michael S. Van Leeson Memorial Bridge late Tuesday night. At the scene, officers located a man in his 40s, identified by his family as Gerald Jerry Blair. Suffered from stab wounds. He was pronounced dead at the hospital, marking the city's 4th homicide and Rhode Island's 10th homicide this year. Providence Police Chief Oscar Perez told the news that Blair had interjected themselves into a fight between a group of people when LaRoque allegedly pulled out a knife and stabbed him several times. Perez said it does not appear that LaRoque and Blair knew each other. He described LaRoque as a transient person with different addresses in other areas throughout the state. Blair had been experiencing homelessness at the time, and the Amos house was his last known address. This individual will be held accountable for the violent act that he committed. I also want to extend my condolences to the family. And yeah, obviously he's the chief of police, so he's going to praise his detectives, even though it's like, how hard was it for them to figure this out? I mean, guy stabbed a guy on a public bridge. I'm sure there was witnesses, but yeah, this guy LaRoque though, he's only 19. He was arrested in North Kingston for third-degree sexual assault, pleaded not guilty in Superior Court, and was released on $10,000 personal recognizance in February. Middletown arrested LaRoque for third-degree sexual assault on May 2025 when the case moved to Superior Court. He pleaded not guilty and again released on $10,000 personal recognizance. Warwick police also arrested him in January 2025. He later pleaded no contest to a weapons firearms charge, and he was sentenced to serve 90 days at the ACI plus 9 months suspended with probation. Also issued a non-contact order for the Warwick Mall, so he's banned from the Warwick Mall. But yeah, this kid's only 19, and he was obviously having a lot of fucking issues. So at this point, it's not surprising that he stabbed a man, just like in public like that. But anyway, yeah. And then the twist to this story is the man that was fatally stabbed, Jerry Blair. Me and Digz actually went to high school with Jerry. I didn't know him very close, but it's Rhode Island. Everyone kind of knows everybody in a weird way. He had a lot of trouble in his past after high school. I know he had like drug issues, things like that. So yeah, it's definitely a sad story, especially when it's pretty close to home.
Close to home.
Yeah. I feel bad that it's a tragic end for someone that was I don't know where he was in life. I know he was fighting homelessness at the time, but I don't know if he was still on drugs, if he was still having issues like that. Like, who knows? He might have actually just taken some steps recently to turn his life around. Who knows? But yeah, sad story. And is that the bridge? Yeah, that's the bridge, right?
Yeah.
So that's very public. That's a very public spot. Normally, you're not gonna go. You're not gonna walk across that without seeing other people. So I'm sure when he was stabbed, there was witnesses. But sad shit. But yeah, that's really all I got for local news. You got anything for local news you wanted to add that was not on the list?
No. There's really not much going on besides crap like this.
Yeah, it's always like negative when we're fucking talking about shit going on in the state. It's kind of sad. So anyway, moving on to sports. We got more from the NFL Top 100 list. Rankings 72 to 63. Pretty cool list here. Let's see, Jordan Love is at 72, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Zay Flowers on the list at 71 from the Baltimore Ravens, wide receiver. Xavier McKinney from the Packers at 70, not far from his teammate there. Look at Lamar Jackson coming in at 69, everyone's favorite number. Cortland Sutton from the Broncos is number 68. It's not coming home. I guess you're talking about the World Cup there. It's not coming home, he said. Oh yeah, I'm sure Corbin's all pissed off about that. So Jordan Brooks from the Miami Dolphins, he's in at 67. Wide receiver Drake London from the Atlanta Falcons ended up at 66. Raquan Smith from the Baltimore Ravens at 65. Chris Olave, wide receiver with the New Orleans Saints at 64. And Kyle Hamilton at 63 from the Baltimore Ravens. So that's like what? That's 4 Baltimore Ravens in that short little list there. So all the Ravens getting put in around each other. Well, we're getting there. We're getting to the top. We're getting to the top of the list. So pretty cool.
So we should have 62 to 50 next week.
Yeah. Yep, we should. Well, actually, I don't know. Sometimes are they doing 2 episodes of this a week, or is it just 1, Sanchez? Do you know?
I think it's 2.
Yeah, so we actually might get more. I think it depends on what day of the week it is, too. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have cable no more, so I don't know. I would have to have somebody's
Same.
like live
streaming
TV thing.
services all the way.
Yeah, you'd have to have like NFL Plus or something to watch that, I think. So anyway, in other NFL news, big news earlier this week, the Seattle Seahawks was sold for a record $9.6 billion. Yeah, crazy money. And I mean, what a time to sell a franchise right after a Super Bowl. That's when you want to sell high, right? Win a Super Bowl and sell that bitch, bro. You'll make some fucking money. That's the way to do it. The Colsa family has entered into a contractual agreement to acquire the Super Bowl champions for $9.612 billion. The individual spoke to the Associated Press under the condition of anonymity since the agreement is still pending NFL authorization. The Colsa family is a minority owner of the 49ers. So for this to be official, they'd have to give up their minority share in the 49ers to be able to fully purchase the Seahawks, because you can't have ownership in 2 different teams, especially when you get 2 teams that are division rivalries. Like they play each other twice a year. So the Colsa family will have to back out of the San Francisco 49ers organization to take over the Seattle Seahawks organization. Family said, "We are privileged to be designated as the upcoming custodians of the Seattle Seahawks. We anticipate enhancing the successful legacy established by Paul Allen and earning the confidence of the Seahawks organization and supporters everywhere. Thrilled to join this remarkable franchise. Also pleased that all the funds will be directed to a nonprofit. No further comments until the sale is complete." So it was February 18th. Paul Allen, the former owner, his estate disclosed that the process of selling the team had commenced, and the Seahawks, coming off their second Super Bowl win in franchise history, the sales process was facilitated by investment bank Allen & Company, law firm Lathan and Walkins, with projections from February indicating it would extend through the offseason. As the condition of the sale, the Colsa family will have to give up their ownership interest in the San Francisco 49ers. NFL owners must still approve the final purchase agreement. They are anticipated to convene in August to sanction the deal, as reported by ESPN. So yeah, that's literally next month. All the owners will have to vote on this next month, make it official. Since 1997, the Seahawks have belonged to the Allen family when Paul Allen acquired the team for $194 million. Holy shit, bro. Imagine that, bro. The team was bought in 97 for $194 million, and they just sold for almost $10 billion.
Definitely make their money's worth.
That's a crazy growth in profit, in like worth. Holy crap, that's nuts. Seahawks have a leasing agreement with Lumen Field that extends until 2032, including 3 options for 10-year renewals. Following the death of former owner Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft, in 2018 due to complications from I can never pronounce this. Hodgkin's lymphoma at the age of 65, the Seahawks and the NBA Portland Trail Blazers have been under the ownership of his sister Jody. In September, the estate consented to sell the Trailblazers to an investment group headed by Tom Dundon, owner of the Carolina Hurricanes. The Trailblazers are set to continue in Portland as part of the agreement pending final approval from the NBA. So yeah, it seems like the family is just selling off all of Paul's big assets because they were an owner of Portland Trailblazers. They sold that. Now they're selling the Seahawks. I guess the family just can't manage, an organization of that size like that. So they'd rather just get the profit. But, that's a hell of a win for the family. I mean, that's a hell of a purchase agreement. Not like 9.6? Yeah, 9.6 billion, something else. That's crazy. And they're not even the most profitable team in the league. I think it's usually the Dallas Cowboys is the most profitable.
Everybody wants that star.
So imagine, if the Seahawks are worth 9, imagine what the fucking Cowboys are worth. You know what I mean? So
I'm wondering.
Yeah, look it up. What's their net worth?
It is 13 billion.
So about 4 billion difference.
29% increase from 2024 of 10.1 billion.
Nuts.
The 2024 revenue was estimated at 1.2 billion, the highest among all NFL teams, with operating income of 629 million.
Interesting. Yep. The NFL is worth a lot of damn money. Damn. Do you agree that Messi is the best football player in history? I'm not a giant football fan like that when it comes to international football. So I have no dog in that fight. I will say I'm half Portuguese, and my family on my Portuguese side, I should say, obviously are Cristiano Ronaldo fans. So I've had to hear about nothing but Ronaldo from that side of my family my whole life, most of my life. So would I say who's better? I don't know. I wouldn't know. So wrong person asked that question. But yeah. Anyway, let's see what's cooking in the world of Major League Baseball.
Wait, before we go to baseball, with the Knox having to back out of the 49ers? Do they have to back out completely now and hope everything gets approved, or they can back out after everything gets approved?
I think it happens once it gets approved. So as soon as the other owners vote on it, that's when
that day it ends.
That's already pre-negotiated. That's what they're going to be voting on. So as soon as if they get approved, they instantly in that moment are giving up their minority share in the 49ers and purchasing the Seattle Seahawks. So it's all going to happen at the same time.
All right.
So, but yeah, it's just the way the league works. The owners have to vote on everything. So,
makes it fair.
Yep. But anyway, back to the MLB. It was the home run derby, and I was in Discord with Sanchez for this, and he was damn loud. He was really enjoying this. But now I know what he was yelling about the whole time. Jordan Walker wins the 2026 home run derby. Jordan Walker from the Cardinals won the 2026 home run derby in Philadelphia. In the final round, he needed 6 straight home runs on his final 6 swings to come back and beat hometown favorite Kyle Schwarber. The Philly crowd booed Walker throughout the event, but with every homer, the stadium got quieter. After his final blast, Walker raised his Iron Man-themed bat and yelled, "Let's go, baby." Walker has had a huge turnaround turnaround season after struggling early in his career. 22 home runs heading into the All-Star break, helping lead a surprisingly competitive Cardinals team. His parents celebrated wildly while disappointed Philly fans headed for the exits. Walker joked after the win, "I was once told you don't boo nobodies, so this feels really great." This was the first home run derby streamed exclusively on Netflix. MLB also debuted a new swing-based format, 20 swings in round 1, 15 swings in the semifinals and finals. If your last swing is a homer, you keep swinging until you don't homer. Oh, that's an interesting rule. Walker earned $1 million for winning the Derby. Bryce Harper, the hometown superstar, was eliminated in the first round with just 8 home runs despite an elaborate WWE-style entrance. Schwarber reached the
Don't even get me started on that.
I'm going to ask you about that when I'm done with this. Schwarber reached the finals after edging Wilson Contreras. Well, Contreras. After edging Wilson Contreras 9-8 in the semifinals, but Walker stole the show. Walker became the first St. Louis Cardinals ever to win the Home Run Derby, capping one of the biggest comeback stories in the 2026 MLB season. Really cool stuff. But, all right, I got to ask, Sanchez, what was with this WWE-style entrance? What do you do?
They had a wrestling ring in the middle of the baseball field in the shape of the home plate. You know, it's like the shape of a house, right?
Yeah.
And they had it in the middle of the ring. It had 3 ropes on it, and he decided to get on one of the turnbuckles and just do like a Randy Orton type ordeal thing. It was cringy as hell.
It was hard to watch.
yeah, because it's Philadelphia. It's supposed to be boxing,
Yeah.
He straight up went full like Attitude Era.
That's great. Hey, something to add entertainment, right? That's what these all-star breaks are really all about. They're about the sports, mixing it with entertainment, right?
Yep. Next year it'll be in Chicago.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yep. Yeah, but this is a good week for baseball. This is All-Star week. This is when the draft happens. So the draft happens, and then they have the Future Stars All-Star game where they get all the draftees. Yep. And they have them play in the All-Star game against each other, which is really cool. Then you have the Home Run Derby. Then you have the Celebrity Softball game, which is the stupidest thing they could ever do. And then you have the actual All-Star game. And, the All-Star game is not as exciting as the Home Run Derby. The Home Run Derby is like the big kahuna,
Yeah. Well, it's funny you bring up the celebrity game, though, because I believe the NBA does that, too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do that, too, in their All-Star week. Honestly, dude, it bothers me. I think the one sport that really sucks with this is the NFL now. Like, the Pro Bowl used to be a big deal, and I don't know, I'd say for the last 20 years or so, it just sucks. I can't remember when they went to flag football. Digz, look that up. When did they switch? When did the Pro Bowl switch to flag football? Because that's really when the NFL's just All-Star game just got ruined, and then now no one even cares about it.
Makes you appreciate the XFL, right?
Well, it's just when I was a kid in the 90s, dude, like the Pro Bowl was a big deal because every player from the AFC, the best players from the AFC would play against the best players from the NFC in full pads, full contact. Like it was watching. I'm trying to think when they went to flag football, but
2023.
2023 they went to flag?
In 2023, the league introduced the most significant overhaul, replacing the traditional tackle football game with a flag football format. This move was calculated gamble aimed at boosting entertainment value while prioritizing player safety.
Yeah, I think the issue was before that then was the fact that they were in pads, but it wasn't like full contact. You could tell they were dialing it back. Like they had weird tackle rules and shit like that. You couldn't like the quarterback pretty much couldn't get tackled unless they left the fucking pocket. Like I don't know. I forgot the rules. They were super weird. Like when it came to the quarterback who's wearing full pads, a 2-hand touch would be a sack, pretty much. Like that's how it was before they got rid of the pads.
Fans routinely pointed out the lack of competitiveness, while players understandably wary of injury risk. Rarely went all out. By the late 2010s, the Pro Bowl started to resemble a glorified walkthrough.
Yeah, there it is.
Game.
So yeah, I was right. It's probably like 16 years. It's really been a joke.
Yes.
So, yeah. When I was a kid growing up watching this game, Sanchez, dude. Oh my God, you're talking, and the difference was too. The Pro Bowl was after the Super Bowl, so the Super Bowl would already be over. And then
that's interesting too.
And then they'd have the Pro Bowl game at the end, the cap off the year. That's how that was the difference.
So then, why the hell are they bitching? Why is it? You know, if it's after the Super Bowl, no one's playing. You know, what's the what's the point of the flag?
No, that's I'm talking about back in the day. The flag now is the week before the Super Bowl, the weekend before the Super Bowl.
Oh, they changed it. Okay.
Yeah, they changed it a while ago. That's why, like 2010, I think is when they changed it. What he just said, because they were wearing pads still and still playing a tackle football game, but it had crazy rules, and it was pretty much like he said, it was like a walkthrough. They really didn't need to wear pads. That's how like shitty of a game it's turned into. And they also started doing different things too. Traditionally, back in the 90s and early 2000s, it was AFC, the American Conference versus the National Conference. But then when they got to the 2010s, they started doing like, I remember at one time they did like Peyton picked the team and Eli Manning picked the team, and like those teams went against each other. They started doing like this weird shit, and I was just like, dude, just keep it the way it was. But what happened was like some star players got seriously hurt in the old Pro Bowl games to the point where they couldn't start the season for their real team the next year. And I actually think there was a couple career-ending injuries in the Pro Bowl too. So that's why they kind of axed it. So, but I miss it. I miss the old school Pro Bowl days, man. It was a simpler time. A simpler time, but dude, it was some hard hits in the Pro Bowl back when I was a kid. They were trying to take each other's heads off, bro. It's crazy. So similar to the home run derby back then. I mean, they were fucking pumping those out of the park back then. That was a steroid era.
I guess hearing that, I guess like as a baseball fan, we are lucky to have like All-Star Week the way that we have it. So that's refreshing. Yeah,
I think I like the way baseball and basketball do it the best, because they dedicate a week of it, and it's in the middle. It's in the middle of the season, so
they turn a whole parking lot into a little city too. It's insane for these things. Well, they do that for the Super Bowl too, and like the World Cup and stuff. But like, it's so cool. You know, for sports fans, you know, they're crazy, but they're passionate. They do come up with some creative thing.
Oh, the other thing about the Pro Bowl back in the day, it was always in Honolulu, Hawaii, every year.
The fuck?
Yeah, they'd play the old Pro Bowl games are always played in Hawaii. It was interesting. So it was almost like for the players that became Pro Bowlers, it was almost like they won something and they got to take a fucking free vacation to Hawaii. But now they're doing it in like what, Orlando and shit. Like it's just corny as fuck now. Super corny.
2016 is when they stopped playing the Pro Bowl in Hawaii.
Does it say how many years they were doing it in Hawaii? That'd be like fucking years they were doing that game.
Miami.
No, doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
All right, I was interested. More curious, but all right. Damn, we're kind of moving fast today, huh? We're already at doc of the day.
36 years.
36 years they were doing it? Damn, think about that, man. They broke it. They ended a whole tradition.
From 1980 to 2009, and returned 2 fire matchups, 2011, 2012. 2014, 2016. There's more than 2 fire matchups, stupid Google.
Google's AI is kind of weird sometimes. They get like multiple sources and they confuse the two. But All right, I guess it's time for doc of the day. And my doc of the day, I haven't done this in what, a few weeks.
Yeah.
This is actually one of my favorite Netflix docs of all time, like dead ass. The Pharmacist. It's a really cool fucking documentary. It's on something that like we lived through ourselves. Digz. I mean, we knew a lot of people that were hooked on OxyContin when they were big. And then what I loved about this documentary is it kind of gave me insight of why it was such a problem. Why we had so many like friends and like family members that were getting hooked on this shit. And it was really due to the company that was coming out with OxyContin. The way they were marketing it and pushing it. And the fucked up thing is this shit was like legal heroin, over the counter heroin, pretty much. But yeah, The Pharmacist is a gripping 4-part Netflix documentary detailing the true story of Dan Schneider, a Louisiana pharmacist who transformed personal tragedy into a relentless crusade. After his 22-year-old son was murdered in 1999, Dan investigated the crime himself. Soon after, he noticed an influx of young people seeking high-dose OxyContin, driving him to expose a massive pill mill and take on Big Pharma. The documentary miniseries unfolds across two distinct, heavily intertwined acts of true crime and public health activism. The first 2 episodes are mainly about the murder investigation of Danny Jr., the pharmacist's son. He was fatally shot due to a drug-related transaction in New Orleans. And then Dan found himself stonewalled by the authorities. And then, overcoming intense grief and fear, he used his own notes, recorded phone calls, and used community outreach to track down witnesses and bring his son's killer to justice. And the crazy thing about that is, when you're watching this, one of the most helpful people in the process of him trying to find his son's killer turns out to be the fucking killer. So the guy that was trying to help him ends up being the one that did it. He was trying to mislead him. But yeah, then episodes 3 and 4 are exposing the pill mill. Shortly after solving the murder, Dan noticed a massive spike in young, seemingly healthy individuals presenting prescriptions for unusually high doses of OxyContin. He began investigating the doctors writing these prescriptions, uncovering a massive pill mill led by Dr. Jacqueline Cleggett in New Orleans. Dan compiled evidence, collaborated with DEA, and helped dismantle the illegal drug ring well before the opioid epidemic was recognized on a national scale. And there you see is a modern-day picture of Dr. Jacqueline Cleggett. That's how she looked in her interviews in the doc. But if you saw a picture of her during the time she was being investigated for her pill mill practice, she was actually like a looker. Like, she actually looked good back in her youth. And you could see what abusing OxyContin did for her, or whatever else she was abusing at the time. But her, it's crazy. You actually see footage in the doc of her office when she finally got bagged up. Her office was nothing but just pills and stacks of money. It literally looked like a business you run in GTA Online. It was just like, she had so much money. She was just writing. It was just like the lines out the door for her clinic, because people were just getting scripts for OxyContin that didn't need them. Oh, you got a little bit of elbow pain? Here you go.
Here's Oxy.
Here's Oxy. Oh, you got a little bit of back pain? Oh, here you go. Here's Oxy. And it eventually gets to the point where nobody's got pain. They just try and get high. That's all it was. So there's a picture of the pharmacist himself with his wife. That's based off a scene when they were talking about their son's death. But
she looks like she's upset.
Yeah, that's when they're reminiscing about that process. Because law enforcement really did kind of drop the ball on that. The fact that the father had to find his own son's killer because the cops weren't doing shit, it was pretty ridiculous. And that man right there was determined. He was determined to find his son's killer, and that determination, like, it was odd for him because he worked so hard and did so much every day to find his son's killer. When he found his son's killer, well, that was his like therapy for grieving his loss of his son. So he needed to keep doing something. And being a pharmacist, he just started noticing all these scripts coming in for OxyContin, and he's the one that has to fill them. But his job as a pharmacist is to not, like, not over medicate people. So he's just like, why are these doctors writing this stuff is terrible? Like, why are they writing this stuff out? And the one that really got him was like a mother brought in a script for her young daughter, and they wrote a script for OxyContin 80s. Remember 80s are like the big ones?
Yeah.
That everybody was going crazy for. And this girl was not even fucking 15 yet. And her doctor's writing her OxyContin prescription in the 80s. Like, when he saw that script, that's really started triggering, like, what is happening? Why are doctors writing this stuff out? And really what was happening was the company, what the hell's the name of that company too? That family got in trouble. Who made OxyContin? Purdue Pharma. They're the ones that they were pumping these pills out. And what they were doing was they were going to clinics, talking to doctors, and they were actually giving doctors commissions if they could write so many scripts. So these pharma salespeople would go to all these doctors' clinics all over the fucking country and be like, hey, if you can get this many scripts out during this quarter of the year, you'll get this bonus. And it was to the point where it was profitable for doctors to write these scripts. They were not just writing them because people needed this medication. They were writing them because the company's paying them to write them. It's like, we'll get you a piece of the pie if you help us pump these pills out. So literally one of the craziest drug epidemics in the history of this country, because so many people died. There's no number of people. You can't put a number on how many people overdosed and died because of OxyContin addiction. And then obviously when OxyContin came off of the fucking market and they finally pulled it, well, now all those people had to find something else. What did most of them do? They went to fucking heroin, fentanyl. It was cheaper, and would get them somewhat to where they were. I mean, unfortunately, like the other reason why I really like this documentary and how educational it is, because it hits home for me. In 2020, my uncle overdosed on fentanyl-laced heroin, and his drug addiction started because of OxyContin. I know that. I mean, he had some problems before OxyContin hit the market. I will say that, but it was nothing that would be alarming, I would say. But when OxyContin hit the market and people started getting addicted to that, it was hard for people to get off of it. We knew some people we grew up with that were abusing the shit out of OxyContin. I had family members that were abusing the shit out of it, and yeah, it was bad. It was literally everywhere you could think of. It pretty much was taking over the country. I wonder if, like, you could even look up like a guesstimate.
I know, even when I had them prescribed to me for my neck surgery, I never took them. I was too scared to.
So this is an AI overview on Google. Over 700,000 people have died from overdoses involving opioids in the United States and Canada since 1999, while exact numbers of deaths linked strictly to the brand name drug OxyContin are difficult to isolate. Prescription opioids served as the foundational first wave of the crisis, leading to hundreds of thousands of deaths. And those motherfuckers made money, bro. They made millions upon millions of dollars off the backs of those bodies. And that's the sad thing about it. And as we saw too, because we were hanging out with kids that were doing it, fucking like the street level of selling it too, for people that didn't have a pill mill they could just get it from. These guys were selling these fucking pills for fucking crazy money. Especially based on the dosage of the pill. I mean, they were making thousands of dollars each day selling these pills on the street.
I believe it's like $1 a point.
What do you mean?
So $30 for one 30 milligram pill.
So 80s were 80?
Yeah.
That's early 2000s money, so. But no one's just buying one, right? That's the. So you go to your drug dealer and you want a bunch of 80s. Well, you're paying a lot of money right there. You're paying a few $100 just to get some pills. You think five or more pills is $500 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I never fucked with any of that shit. I'm very fortunate. And a lot of it's because I had somebody in my home that was just really bad on them, and it made me not want to dabble in any of that bullshit. But yeah, the Pharmacist is definitely something I'd recommend anyone that's ever been affected by that opioid epidemic in the early 2000s there, because it shows a lot of stuff that was going on at these clinics and how the pills were hitting the floor, and just how big of a piece of shit Purdue Pharma was. They were a bunch of people. Those people were dirtbags. They were like literally the devil in a fucking tie. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So crazy.
How long are the episodes?
I think they're about an hour each. So it's 4 episodes. So it's about 4 hours. And you really don't get into the whole. You don't see Dan really get into the Oxycontin pill mill thing until after he solves his son's death. So the first part of this whole documentary is his son's death, him finding out who his son's killer is. Then after that, like I said, that was kind of being him doing that investigation was like also somewhat therapeutic for him. It was helping him get over his son's death. So when he finally did find the killer, when he finally did get the killer, he still needed something to keep him going. You know what I mean? And his job at the pharmacy he worked at just wasn't doing it. His boss was actually getting upset with him because he kept questioning people. Like people would come in with Oxycontin scripts, and he was actually telling them, "Are you sure you want this? Do you need this?" Like he would explain to people what it was, and like I told you about the mother that walked up with her daughter and had a script for it. He told that mother what that was, and she was like, "Oh, never mind. I don't want that." He actually talked her out of it. Like, so that was the good thing about his position there. But it got to the point where he had to leave the job and just focus all of his time on investigating why the hell these scripts are getting written. And he recorded everything. That's what made it a great fucking documentary. He was staking out the fucking ladies' clinic and with a video camera and shit. And there was times where he had to drive away because the fucking security would see him. Like he was filming that doctor leaving her office, going to her car. Like he was intense about that shit. And then for like a year straight, he was calling the FBI, trying to let them know. And they just kept ignoring him because they couldn't tell him they're already investigating the same thing. So while he's investigating on his end, the FBI is investigating and the DEA is investigating on their end. So, yeah, that part was all fascinating. I loved how that all got put together and everything like that. So,
were they able to take a lot of his stuff, the DEA, and use it in their case, or they didn't bother looking at his?
No, I don't think you can do that because you can only do that, I think, if you make him an agent of, you know what I mean? Like you gotta, he would have to sign something and be an approved investigator for them to use that in court. But he was just hell bent on trying to shut that shit down. I mean, for him, it was just one small clinic, though. The eye-opening thing was he's investigating one clinic in one portion of the country, one area of the country. That shit was happening all over the United States. So even though it came out with a documentary about his journey with it, just to see the grand scale of the problem, because that's just one person's POV, where that shit was happening all over the country, as we know. So this is all based in New Orleans, Louisiana. So yeah, it really was everywhere. Because I know we were dealing with it. We were dealing with it up here. People were abusing it up here. I forgot what year it was. Rhode Island actually implemented some sort of law against all the doctors in the state because of it. Remember, the doctors could no longer write a certain amount of scripts.
Yeah.
Or it would trigger an investigation or something like that. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Rhode Island did to try to stop it was like to computerize I don't know. I forget what entailed. I just remember like my uncle bitching about when that shit happened. He used to just go to the doctor and get shit writ all the time, and then the state shut that shit down. Doctors were scared of losing their licenses, so they can no longer do it. And it is what it is. But yeah, that's The Pharmacist on Netflix. Yeah, definitely I'd recommend it. Check it out. It's a little bit of a tearjerker, and then pretty fucking interesting at the end. Nice. So I guess we're getting to that time, buddy.
I guess so. But before we get to the final cut, we got a nice little ranking of all the Scream movies ranked by the box office.
Oh, okay.
So at number 7, you got 2011 Scream 4 with 97 million. Scream, the 2022 version with 138 million.
With that Scream, wasn't it pretty much Scream 5, that one?
Yeah. It was them rebooting the franchise.
They were going to reboot the franchise, and then now they just consider it Scream 5, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Scream 3 in the 2000 with 162 million.
Damn.
Scream 6 in 23 with 167 million. Scream 2 in 1997 with 172 million.
Damn.
The original Scream in 96 with 173 million. And number 1 is Scream 7 with 213 million.
That's crazy how the original is still number 2 in box office, though.
Everyone was excited for friggin' 7, though.
No, I definitely liked it. I remember we went and watched it, and it was just like, I mean, we both watched it twice. That's how much we liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely worth it. But yeah, for some reason, over the years, besides like the first 3, for me at least, over the years when Screams came out, I was always like, I can wait till it hits video or goes digital. I never felt that way again, where like a Scream's coming out, it's like, oh yeah, I want to watch that in fucking theaters. Like that was the first time I've been to a movie. That was the first time I've been to a movie theater in fucking I don't even know how many years.
I know it was one of the Screams when they came out. We went to the theater to watch it. I don't remember which one though.
I think it was the reboot one. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe it was 4. I can't remember. There was a long time. It was the first time in a long time we'd seen a Scream.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it was the reboot one. But because I think between Scream 4 and 5 was the longest gap they went without a Scream movie, right?
Yeah.
So like I think it was around that time. Which one was the one with Sydney's like niece or relative or what the fuck? What she was the killer in the end.
Oh, when Kirby first appeared.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I want to say that's the remake.
That is the remake. I feel like it was that one.
Yeah.
But I'm not positive.
I'm pretty sure it's that one.
But yeah, I hadn't been to for Scream 7. That was the first time I was in a movie theater in fucking years. Wait, like since after that was the first time after the pandemic, definitely. Just seeing how different movie theaters are now, because I know the pandemic like screwed a lot of these theaters up. A lot of that's really why we started losing all the showcases in Rhode Island. We only have like one left now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the first time I've been to a theater, and I'm like, wow, these seats are comfortable. Like I couldn't believe all these theaters now just got comfortable ass fucking lounge chairs. It's fucking cool.
Do you want to go see Scream at the Factory of Terror?
Why?
Oh,
You want to watch a movie at an event?
It's at a haunted house.
Yeah, I'd rather just go to the haunted house. They don't need to play Scream to get me to go to a haunted house. It's been a long time since I went to Factory of Terror.
Yeah, I think the last time I went was me, you, and Bird.
I thought the last time I went was with you and your sister.
Oh, maybe I'm confusing those 2 times.
Yeah, I think I went with you and your sister. That's what I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was you.
I know. I think we went both.
It was me, you, your sister, and your sister's friend.
No, it was my cousin. And then
your cousin. Your cousin.
I believe there was a day me, you, Bird, and Brittany went. Because remember we had to chase Bird for the back of it because she was chasing Michael Myers.
No, I don't remember that at all.
And then on our way home, we stopped at a gas station and got some adult beverages on the way home.
That doesn't surprise me. Definitely doesn't surprise me. I believe you. I'm sure that happened. I just don't remember.
In the back of that little shitty Scion.
Oh yeah, that car sucked to sit in the back seat of. I remember that. With that chick, the number one thing I just remember is how embarrassed I was when we went to that Patriots game and she couldn't park for shit. We were so stoned, and it took her so long to park the fucking car that by the time she parked, all the Patriot fans around us that were tailgating cheered and clapped. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to go home. I wanted to go home. I was so stoned though too. We were so stoned.
Well, Austin hung over and shit. Because that's the game we went and the night up before and stayed at Bird's house, right? Or was that a different game?
Yeah, I think so. And I got a speeding ticket in your car going like 100 down 95.
Yeah.
Those were the days. Those were the days. All right, you ready for the final cut?
I am. This week's final cut, since we just talked about Scream 3.
Which me and Digz have argued about this Scream multiple times on this podcast, so we're just going to do it again.
Might as well just cover it now. We never fully covered it.
All right.
Stop the nitpicking. Jeez. All right. Sidney Prescott has gone into hiding after the events of the first 2 films. Living a quiet, isolated life, meanwhile, a new Ghostface begins murdering the cast of Stab 3, the movie based on the Woodsboro killers. As investigation unfolds, Doobie Riley and Gail Weathers reunite in Hollywood to uncover who's behind the mask. The murders led everyone to the set of Stab 3, where long-buried secrets about Sidney's mother, Maureen Prescott, come to light. The killer is revealed to be Roman Bridger, the director of Stab 3 and Sidney's half-brother. Feeling abandoned by his family, Roman orchestrated the killing as revenge. Cindy confronts him in the film's climax and in the Reign of Terror, and finally finds peace with her past.
So the other big thing about this too, with 3, was the fact that it was revealed that Roman also helped orchestrate the first murders in Woodsboro. He filmed, damn, now I can't think of his name. What's his name? The boyfriend.
Still Billy?
Billy. He filmed Billy Loomis's father having an affair with Sydney's mother, and then Roman took that footage to Billy, and Billy didn't like that, and then that's how he was able to get Billy to do the first set of killings. So, and I like that connection, because otherwise it would have been like, well, where'd this guy come from, right?
Yeah.
I think connecting that dot from 3 to 1 made a lot of sense. And then the backlash of that is 2, because Billy dying in 1 sets off his mother, who ends up being the orchestrator and one of the killers in 2. So Roman unknowingly triggers 2 sets of murders before he does his own run in Hollywood doing it.
Yeah.
What do you got here for fun facts?
Some fun facts I have. Kevin Williamson has limited involvement because he was busy with other projects. So Ethan Kruger wrote most of the screenplay. Kevin Williamson wrote the first one.
Oh, okay.
I just find it funny that Wes Craven works with somebody called Kruger.
That makes way too much sense.
The film was rewritten after the Columbine shooting massacre, resulting in less graphic violence and a lighter, more comedic tone. I believe originally the screenplay was supposed to be of a cult type of thing.
Oh, really? That would have been fucking weird.
Yeah, and then because of Columbine, they had to hurry up and rewrite. It's the only Scream movie with a Sentinel ghost-based killer. In the Hollywood setting, let the movie poke fun at sequels, movie studios, and the film industry.
Yeah, I think the people that they had as the cast of Stab was funny, isn't it? What was the actor that played the Randy replacement, the black kid? I forget his name. He was funny as hell in that.
Yeah,
I can't remember that actor's name. He was doing a lot of movies at that time too.
It's gonna come to me after this.
I'll look it up. He died at the end in the mansion, didn't he?
I believe so.
Dean Richmond is the character. Oh wait, no. Never mind. No, Dean Richmond's the actor's name.
Yeah,
he played Tyson Fox in it.
what else was he in?
He did a bunch of goofy fucking movies. And he was the kid from the fucking Cosby Show. But he also did Not Another Teen Movie. That's what I remember him the most from.
All right.
But yeah, he was always playing roles where he was kind of like comedic in a way. He's in some shitty movies too, like well, I wouldn't say shitty. I guess it was popular in its own right. He was in High Frequency too. I forgot about that. He was in Sister Sister. That's right. He was in Sister Sister. Yeah, he was doing a lot of TV at the time before Scream 3 came out. But yeah, he was Kenny on the Cosby Show.
Oh, all right.
Yep. Well, yeah, I thought he was funny in this movie. And the fact it's the only Scream with one single killer makes it interesting too.
Yeah.
Because there's always two or more. So
I believe this is supposed to end the series.
what's that?
I believe the Scream 3 was supposed to be the end of the series.
It was supposed to cap it off as a trilogy, right? Well, you know movie studios. If it's making money, they're not going to stop. Even if Wes Craven is saying no, we're done. That's it. Like, nah, they're still pumping those out. But like you said, like, luckily, like the last one, we both enjoyed it. We thought it was a good movie. So at least they're not coming out with trash. I mean,
it's the bottom. Scream 7 is the bottom of most people's list that I've seen and listened to.
I think for me, it was more nostalgia trip because I like how they implemented like AI, and then you got to see some of the older actors come back to life in a way.
Yeah,
I mean, like, because even the killer from this one was in 7 technically, even though it was the killer using AI, but
he was in it.
But he was in it. Yep. So yeah, I found that interesting. But yeah, is it gonna, is 7 gonna hold up against the originals? Like 1 and 2? Like 1 and 2 is classic. You can't really fuck with those two.
3's up there too. I think that's what your third.
Yeah, I put the first 3. I put the first 3 in that order as they came out. My top 3 Screams are 1, 2, and 3. And then everything after that's up for debate and conversation. But I can easily tell you the first 3 Screams are my favorite 3 Screams. I can watch them one after the other in a row, bang them all out. And it's like, you know how it is. It's one of those movies where you could recite the script. Yeah, you can recite the script with the movie because you've watched it so many times.
It's one of those comfort movies for me.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's harder for the other Screams for me to get crazy into, especially when you get to like, I hated that they killed off Dewey. I fucking hated that. That pissed me off. Like, you had to kill Dewey, man. Come on.
Yeah, I do eventually. Yeah, start killing off the older cast.
You could tell they regretted killing Dewey because in the new one, it's like fucking Sydney's married to a Dewey replacement. Are you fucking kidding me?
I believe in one of the other ones she was married to a different guy named Mark.
They never showed the husband. This was the first time you've seen him. They actually casted somebody for that role. Because before, she would always like leave her life behind. This is the first time they showed her family. They showed her daughter. They showed her husband. They showed her home. Like this, like so many Screams went by where Sydney, you didn't see Sydney's personal life. She just showed up to wherever the murders were happening.
Yeah. I always thought they showed him in one scene.
I don't think so. But you could be right. I don't know. I don't think so, though. But, that's just me. But, all right, you ready for Kill or Keep?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Hollywood setting, would you kill or keep?
I'll keep it. It was a fun change of scenery, but not as creepy as Woodsboro.
Well, it's kind of funny because they were in Hollywood, but yet there's shit that was going down on the set that looked like Woodsboro.
Yeah, Woodsboro, yeah.
So it was a weird dynamic there. And especially like the part where like they were all set up to film the murder of Sydney's mother, and Sydney walked in on that hot set.
Yeah,
it was all blood and shit and a body bag and shit. I mean, that was creepy, bro. I think that was probably the best scene in the whole film for as far as like a creepy horror setting. But you know what? I still think one of the most badass scenes in the movie too is the very beginning where Cotton dies. Like that whole scene with fucking Creed playing in the background. It was fucking wild. Was it Creed? That was the song that was playing in that opening scene. You remember what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember the song though.
I think it was Creed. I'm not sure. But anyway, that was super intense. And in the way, because the killer used the voice changer, the fact that his own girlfriend starts trying to hit him, thinking he's the killer when he's really not the killer.
Yeah,
That was a cool dynamic. I love that scene.
Favorite scary movie.
All right, Roman as Ghostface, Killer Keep.
smell of the road. It's an interesting reveal, but
It was.
not everyone's favorite motive.
I can understand it because he literally revealed himself as the killer, and it's like, okay, if you even if you thought he was the killer the first time you're watching this,
Yeah.
where you don't find out why until after the reveal.
Mm.
And I think it's also might be the longest post-reveal parts too, because a lot happened after he took the mask off,
Yep.
because he had to explain everything to Sydney of why he was the killer. 'Cause she had no fucking clue who he was besides the director of a film. She had no connection to him. But I did find it interesting at the end when she killed him and was like holding his hand as he was dying. Well, technically he didn't die. He came back and got shot, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Almost like she was coming to peace with it.
Like she found out that she had a brother and had to kill him with an ice pick. So, comedy and satire, would you kill or keep?
Keep it. That's what makes Scream scream.
Yep. Scares and suspense.
Kills not as intense as some of the others.
You can tell that it was set up where the killer didn't want to kill Sydney right away. He wanted to set it up so he could reveal why.
Yeah.
So like he was playing games with her the whole time. From when the time pretty much the whole movie, because he was calling her when she was at home.
Mm-hmm.
Use the voice changer to sound like her mother and shit. Oh, that's a creepy scene too. When she had the bad dream.
Oh yeah.
The pop scare with the mom. That was that was actually fucking frightening. That might have been the best scare of the whole movie, actually. And you know what's crazy? That had nothing to do with Ghostface. She was dreaming that. That was just a dream.
It was Freddy. It was Freddy.
It was literally just her having a bad dream, and that was probably the creepiest pop scare of the whole fucking thing. But
I don't think with the suspense and all that, them having to rewrite that script last minute.
Yeah,
I don't think that helped at all.
Yeah, I didn't even know that until you added that in here. So I was like, wow, I didn't even know that. That was interesting. So, Sydney's character art, would you kill or keep?
If it gets her a satisfying emotional conclusion.
Yep.
So we thought.
And then your final call on the entire movie, Scream 3.
It's middle of the road. Scream 3 is the weakest film in the original trilogy, but still enjoyable to watch. Thanks to its Hollywood satire, returning cast, and its conclusion to Sydney's story.
I definitely agree with you. You said it's the weakest of the first three, but when it comes to the entire franchise, I don't think it's the weakest. I don't. Because you still got all three of them, three main characters in their prime, too. You got Sydney, you got Dewey, and you got Gale. Yeah. They're all still in their prime. I think by the time you get to the older films, because there was such a gap between 3 and 4, and then again another long gap between 4 and 5. That the aging process for some of these actors like was not fucking good. Courtney Cox, I don't know what happened to her over the years. Her looks went downhill quick. Too much plastic surgery. And you know what? What's his name that plays Dewey?
David Arquette.
Yo, all that fucking hardcore wrestling he's been doing, bro, did not help his looks going into those newer movies. He was looking beat the fuck up, bro. You could tell he's been banging up his body. So, but yeah, there's a thing too I heard too. I don't know how true it is. The reason why they killed Dewey off is because Arquette and Courtney Cox are getting separated. You think there's any truth to that?
They were already separated at that point.
Right. But I wonder if it was like because they didn't want to work together no more. Because didn't she leave him because he started doing the wrestling?
I think so. But I know they were divorced way before they killed off Dewey.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
I think it was like...
I don't know. At one point, I know David Arquette almost died in a wrestling match. He was doing like a hardcore match and he got cut like way too deep.
Didn't he come out with a documentary for that?
Yeah, he did. I forget the name of it. I kind of want to watch that again. It's been a while. I'm gonna look that up.
2013 is when they got divorced.
Yeah, that's in between 4 and 5. So by the time they did the fifth one, and that's the one they killed him off. So the timing's a little weird, don't you think? The first movie they do together after the divorce, they're killing him off, and she's been in pretty much every one since too, right?
Yeah.
So,
and the name of Arquette's documentary is "You Cannot Kill David Arquette."
That's it. Yep, that's it. I gotta watch that again.
It's on Netflix.
I figured so. All right. Well, anything to add for your final call?
No, sir.
All right. Well, that wraps it up, man. It's already 10:12. That flew by. But yeah. Appreciate everybody that tuned in for another episode of the JM and Digz podcast. Appreciate everybody that was in chat. Shout out to everybody that was in here or is still in here. Appreciate you. And then appreciate anybody that's listening to this after the fact. We appreciate all of our listeners over there on the other apps. Appreciate that. And tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., you can tune in right here to Clean Sanchez Media and check out Morning Rips with my man Sanchez and Gio. They'll also be back Saturday at 7 p.m. for BRVG. You can also check out DD214 on Monday. And I don't want to bring up a touchy subject, Sanchez. Are we doing? Are you having an issue with the Tito this week, or is there still going to be something airing?
Tito just an episode of Tito just came out this morning at 9 a.m. for Cape Fear episode 4 through 7, and then this Sunday Silos episode 1 through 3 should be out.
All right, there you go. Make sure you check that out as well. And yeah, we'll be back here next week, same time. And until then, everyone have a great week. Take care of yourself. Yeah, peace.
Later, homies.
Two kids that never quit, from the ring to the booth, yeah, they still talk their shit. Hey! Thursdays on your feet, they're the ones you don't skip. If you came for the vibes, you came for JM and Digz. Digz got reels, all the scares, all the gore, driving bloodbaths, late night lore, breaking down scenes, every scream, every twist. If it crawls from the dark, it's already on his list. Local buzz, from the block to the bay, talking hometown legends who still got something to say. From the bar stool stories to the front page hits, same crew, new view, same sarcasm and wit. Oh yeah, it's JM and Digz, two kids that